What's good, everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 of Mo. I'm your host today. My name is Tyrone, the Misfit. Over here to my left will be Israel.
Yo.
Of course, from us will be Aiden. And over on production is going to be my man, Skyler. As
sexy man.
What? What? Okay, we can't start like this. Hold on. All right. As tradition, I was going to do the money shot, so get your money glasses ready. I'm going to give y'all a second. Go ahead and say appreciate all of you guys for being here, of course. You can do your choice of beverage here. Me, as always, doing protein shot. Israel, what is apple cider, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours is right there.
Under
your shot.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Choice of drink?
Rum.
All right, that should be no time. But all right, cheers, boys. Episode 3.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. All right.
I get used to this apple cider every time.
Same here.
Yeah. So we're gonna start this off by talking about the elephant in the room. Kanye. Okay. If you haven't been here, we've talked about Kanye every episode so far. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Excuse my choice of language here, but I just can't figure anything else out to say that's gonna explain how I'm feeling right now. So, episode 1, it started off with Free Kanye. Episode 2, it went to Welcome Back, Kanye. Now, episode 3, what the fuck, Kanye? What the hell are you thinking? I'm not gonna lie, you're making it so hard to defend you. Like, I can't, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know.
Can you turn the camera to me real quick?
Yeah.
We would like to say, because this has been in the background, I just want to stay in the background. We do not condone his actions, okay? We don't condone his actions. I like the tweet. The tweet's golden, but definitely one of the top tweets ever. But we don't condone his recent actions. Okay, I just want to mention I saw more clips.
Yeah.
Well, on the shitter earlier.
Oh, no.
Bro, this man Alex Jones tried to bail him out. Alex Jones said, well, let's just go with you don't like their uniforms because you're a designer and stuff, right? Kanye goes, no, I like Hitler. Oh my God. He doubled down. Alex Jones tried to get him out of it. He tried. And even Kanye doubled down. What the hell? Doubled down from Alex Jones. I was like, okay, yeah, that's enough, bro.
Bro.
What happened? Like, Kanye West, what happened?
Honestly, bro. Like, and for those who don't know, he pretty much said it here. He posted on he didn't post. He was like on a podcast or whatever, and he had said everybody brings value. Like, everybody brings something to the table, right? Okay. I agree, You can't you hear that first part, you're like, okay. But immediately after, following up after that, this man sits there and says, especially the Nazis. I like Hitler. What is your issue?
We should have seen this coming, though, because he hates paparazzi more.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, like
he made graduation It doesn't work. It doesn't
Flashlights
work.
was a banger too. It was a banger.
Oh, brother.
Bro, you brought it to my attention earlier that what was it? Bill Burr had this man figured out. What was it in 2017, 2018 or whatever?
Yeah.
Holy! I'm not gonna lie.
What's crazy is 2017, what Bill Burr was talking about was just like the first bipolar Kanye incident. Kanye didn't even say half the stuff he said recently.
Yeah.
So the fact that Bill Burr just knew is insane.
Bro. All right. Now that we got that out the way. All right. Topics of the day. Conspiracy theories.
Ooh, here we go.
I'm going to let y'all figure out which one y'all want to start off with first.
Okay, before we start.
Yeah.
No food on the table this week.
Yeah,
I would like to
unfortunately.
apologize, but we ain't got no food.
It's all good.
We didn't think that far ahead this episode.
We'll have it. We'll figure it out next episode. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll get back to it.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss
But
my
grab your
food.
snacks for us and eat for us.
Yeah.
Pack a few calories.
I might come rob you for some food. I'm not gonna
for
lie.
real.
All right, which one y'all want to start with?
I guess I'll start.
Okay.
I say we go me, you, and then you because yours is like
It's more of an open
it's
topic.
more of an open topic.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna start.
Okay.
I'm going to get picked up by the FBI for this. Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
Oh no.
I'm going to be talking. The conspiracy theory I brought to the table is there a cure for cancer? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was researching this at 6 a.m. this morning. I just want to let you guys both know. So
Okay.
I have some basic stuff. Okay.
Hey, it's all good.
I have some basic information of what cancer brings to an economy, right?
Yeah.
The recent stuff is 2020. They don't have 2021 or 2022 stats yet.
Yeah.
In 2020, 602,000 plus cancer deaths. 602,000.
Holy.
Keep in mind, I think that number could even be higher
Yeah.
if they weren't counting a bunch of deaths for COVID.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that number's higher, but they were counting a bunch. If you had COVID, it was a COVID death. That's what they were doing, right?
Yeah.
So I think that number actually is probably higher, maybe closer to 800,000 if I had to guess. Regardless, 602 is insane anyways. In 2020, the National Cancer Institute had a budget in 2020 alone.
Yeah.
$6.4 billion. $6.4 billion budget. So we're really looking into some big money during for the cancer industry.
Mm-hmm.
The total cost of treatment for cancer in 2020, $208 billion.
Whoa.
Golly.
Yep, in the U.S. only, by the way.
I get a
this isn't
billion?
worldwide. So yeah, that's the amount of money people paid to get cancer treatment. That's out of the people's pocket.
Yeah.
Well, not out of the people's pocket, but out of insurance pockets and stuff like that. Basically, that's total cost.
Yeah.
So the basis of that cancer as a cure is that it's been around for so long and we've been researching it for so long, but we don't have a cure yet. Even though we found cures for things way faster, right?
Yeah.
The Cancer Research Institute was founded in 1953. So we're nearing 80 years. Jeez, I can't do math. 70 years. I'm tired.
You need a calculator.
70 years.
Do you need a calculator?
No,
There's
good.
one on the
70
computer.
I got it now. 70 years, right?
Yeah.
That we have been officially researching cancer, even though they've been doing it before. It just wasn't widespread.
Yeah.
So, 70 years of research and we still haven't found a cure, right?
Yeah.
However, in this research, I did find there's some cancers we do have cures for.
Yeah.
With pills and stuff. But the more popular ones we don't, like lung, heart, brain, all that sort of thing. We don't have it yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to say my opinion yet, but the reason, let's go over the arguments for why people think that there's a cure for cancer. Like I said, we've been researching it for so long. Mm-hmm. People think there's a cure and they aren't giving it out because it's extremely profitable, obviously, right? And if we know anything about things, if there's profit in it, like we talked about, it's going to either stay hidden, they're going to push it more, depending on the situation, right? The money rules it. Mm-hmm. So that's why people think there's a cure. Also, there's a deeper part of this that I was looking at, which is they're not only they're hiding the treatment for cancer, but they're actually causing it by putting stuff in the food in the air, that sort of thing. So there's a way deeper part of this. Like, maybe they don't have a cure, but they might be causing it as well. Yeah. So that's like, there's a whole cancer theory, and there's way more. As I was researching this, I was like mind blown. I was like, holy hell, there's so many more perspectives than I even thought were even a thing. I didn't even think about some of the things. I'll get to that in a second. The other argument is that everything's corrupt. That kind of goes into one of the points against, which is the United States is one of the only profitable healthcare systems.
Yeah.
So why is everyone else in the world not giving out a treatment? And the argument that people have to that is everything's corrupt. It's not just America. Everything's corrupt.
Yeah.
I can understand that, but I also understand that argument against. As I was researching the arguments against, there are some good stuff, okay? One of them being the world researches this stuff. Mm-hmm. So why is everyone in on this hiding the treatment thing? The argument against that doesn't make sense to me is always the one in any issue is how could they hide it if so many people are involved? That argument doesn't make sense at all for any situation, because it's like the people underneath, like the top 3 that know about it, don't know anything because it's all sectioned off. That's how the Department of Defense works too. That's how, like, the whole thing about aliens. Mm-hmm. No one else in the Department of Defense knows because they had a sector specifically for UFOs, and only the sector knew about it.
Yeah.
So that's how you cut people off. Same thing with, like, you know, how China makes all of our bombs and stuff, but they order it from so many different places you can't figure out where it comes from, like all that sort of thing. So it's like that argument that how do people know but hide it? Yeah, it's stupid because there's easy ways to hide things, especially when there's money involved, because the top people don't want to give it up at all. Next is, this is the argument that really makes sense to me, is there's so many types of cancers. Like, cancer is this big word, but there's thousands of different cancers. So how could there be a treatment for all of them?
Yeah.
You know? The other thing is what cancer is in itself. Is the cancer is your cells turning against you. So how could you even make a cure for that? Also understandable. I mean, that's fair. The argument that also doesn't make sense to me is that people say, well, how could there be, like, rich people get all the treatments? Steve Jobs died of cancer.
Yeah.
But my argument to that is, well, Steve Jobs wasn't in on it. Not every rich person is involved. Yeah. If every rich person was involved, they wouldn't be able to hide it. Yeah. There's only a specific few rich people that we probably don't even know their names or faces that are in on it if it's true, right? We don't even know them. They're just like some, you know, behind the computer type people. All right, so that's going to be the arguments for and against. Honestly, researching it, I was more for it before. After researching it, I'm like, okay, I kind of understand it. Yeah. To an extent. I do still believe, though, they cause cancer in certain things with food and stuff. Yeah. And they have better treatments available as well. Like, chemo literally kills you. That is what chemo does, is it quite literally kills you, right? And, speaking on this, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. Cancer sucks, right? I'm not, like, demoting cancer. I've had a handful of family members die of cancer. I'm 21 years old. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm only 21, I have a handful already. It's like, cancer is no joke, but I don't think just because you're in your fields that your family members died, you have to, I can't even talk about a possible idea that the government's screwing me over. Yeah. I don't think that's logical. Some other perspectives before I get your guys' perspective. Okay. What I talked about, this is a little bit different. There isn't a cure, but no money's going to find one.
True.
Like, no one's researching a cure. It's just like, there's no cure that exists, but they're not even trying. Yeah. So, essentially, that's almost as bad, because it's like, then you're not even trying. Yeah. You don't have one, you're not even trying, though, and the money's going elsewhere, or you're taking in the money that billions of dollars that people are spending, basically. So,
to the person asking, what does chemo do then? If it doesn't, try to destroy the cells, or
yeah. Like, so chemo, essentially, for anyone that doesn't know, maybe you haven't looked at it, or you don't have someone with cancer, that's insane, in my opinion. One of my friends who's a doctor says all the time that every single person will die of cancer. No one will die unless it's a tragic accident. Everyone will die of cancer. If they get to old age, they will die of cancer, which is insane to think about. Yeah. But What chemo does is it destroys, because cancer is your cells turning against you.
Right.
Chemo goes in and kills those bad cells, but also kills all the cells around it, even the good ones. So it is quite literally killing your structure.
Either way.
Is what it's doing. So chemo in itself is a bad treatment. It's a treatment, but it doesn't even work half the time.
It's killing you anyway.
Yeah, I mean, so it's dumb.
Choose your poison.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then the other thing, the other perspective is that the research funnels so much money that, again, they don't want to find one. Mm-hmm. And the money coming in doesn't go to finding one. It goes to, like, you know, paying the people researching, or it gets thrown in somebody's pocket under the table. You know what I mean? So basically, the other arguments for is there a cure for cancer is there's not a cure, but the money is going somewhere, or they're not even looking for a cure. So it's just as bad, right? Hold on. What's this last thing I have? Hold on. Give me a second. I can't even read my own handwriting. This is... Okay. Here's another thing. Another perspective that kind of blew my mind. Someone said there's natural cures for cancer, right? Like this, the example he gave was you put chicken noodle soup with mustard seed or something and it cures cancer, right? That's a natural, like, or like there's a plant out there or something that like will naturally cure cancer. But you'll never hear about it because those can't be patented. So these companies might know about these natural cures, if there are any, but they will never give it up because they can't, because it can never be patented.
I've actually heard about mustard seeds. What's it called? Nipsey Hussle. He was creating a documentary with this scientist or this doctor back in, I can't remember, I think it was South America, but basically that doctor had research on the cure for cancer and it involved mustard seeds.
Interesting.
And so, like, herbs can you know,
that's the thing, like there might be natural cures that, like, maybe if it's not a cure for cancer, it slows the process of your cells turning against you, but you'll never hear about it because you can't make money off that.
Somehow
you can,
they die.
Yeah, you can,
that,
right?
know.
You can make money on that, but so can every other company because you can't patent a plant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's say there's just a plant sitting in my front yard with it. I could sell it, but any other company could too because I can't do it. So I think that's some pretty interesting arguments for and against it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always lean back on the argument that money rules everything. So I don't know how you can have an argument against it. Like, how could you not say the money is doing something corrupt or against the people?
Honestly.
I mean,
and I guess one of the founders of, like, modern medicine or opiums was the Rockefellers, and they instituted into colleges about, like, what's it called, where they basically had a different type of teaching where it involved opiums, because when they were doing, like, you know, surgeries back in the day, they did it, you know, just pure, you know, and they didn't have the right equipment, but they introduced anesthesia and it, you know, and then opium, and so, you know, that's why we have a big drug problem in the United States. It's because of opium use and how literally the hospitals give opium to the patients,
even for little stuff,
to cure their pain, just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Isn't that really, like, really interesting?
Yeah, I mean, it's even, the opium issue is way deeper because it's like, it's even for little stuff.
Yeah.
Like, my friend, like, got a, like, a wrist surgery or something, or, like, you know, some patchwork here because he got, like, a huge scar or something, right? It wasn't, like, super damaging, and, like, you can come back from that, no problem.
Yeah.
They gave him morphine for it.
Huh.
Like, 6 months worth of dosage. It's like, bro, why are you giving out this much to these people when you know it's bad?
Because it makes them addicted, and then that brings the hospital profits because they're selling the drug. And then, you know, because I think I remember learning this in history class where opium use in China was a big problem, and the government made it legal, and they were the ones trying to control it. And so that's really funny how if it was implemented in the United States that way, you know, where the government has control of those opiums, they can profit off of the you know, the medical patients.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting to me, you know.
Yeah. I mean, even so about the whole drug thing and everything, even in, like, real dark times when we're like what's a good example? I don't necessarily want to say the Great Depression because I don't know too much about it during that time. But when there's times when the economy's like completely down and stuff, drug dealers are still moving drugs and still making money and stuff. Drugs will still hold up your foundation and economy.
Yep.
But my main issue with like when it comes to like cures or anything like that, there's at this point I'm kind of feel like there's a cure for almost anything. Like a lot of things we get treated for and stuff like that, medicine they give you, there's ways to give people that medicine, like, okay, that might even stop it permanently, right? But all the effectiveness in all like the medicines of that stuff that would have been like maximum effectiveness to help you the most has been so diluted and pushed out of medicine for decades. I think it was Native Americans and stuff. They used a lot of natural resources and stuff when it came to making medicines and stuff. They found stuff that actually worked, and that got, like, even if we still have it today, I don't know if we do, that got pushed out. Like a lot, everything we use that is actually like good that would help you almost, it just pushed out because they want to just find something that's temporary that's gonna help you for now, but you got to come back to get it, the rest later to help you out again. Now, I'm not going to lie. When it comes to like the whole cancer thing, I do feel like there should be a cure for the most part just because of time. Like you guys said, like the whole time situation. However, it's like even with the really rich people who might even be at the top, even if they are involved in the whole situation of, okay, we know there's a cure, but let's keep it in this small knit group. They still might be able to die from it just because, okay, this can be a treatment for it. We know it works like the best, but everybody's body reacts differently to things.
Yeah.
But it's funny how they call alternative medicine, even though it's been practiced for thousands of years, alternative.
Yeah.
You know, and they use like now drugs to, you know, decrease the pain if you're feeling it or heal you, which it doesn't make any sense. If the herbs have been here for thousands of years, people have used them to cure sicknesses, how are they all of a sudden just alternative medicine?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, the whole medical debate is even a deeper thing because people will be afraid, right? 1 week they look for these superfoods.
Yep.
1 week it's a banana, next week it's avocado. But like they're so worried about these little superfoods, and then they don't care what's in that Advil pill they took.
No.
Look up the ingredients of Advil pill. You can't pronounce 95% of what's in it.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing with in fitness. It's really big, right? Is the whole, if you can't pronounce what's on that pre-workout, do not take it. But it's like if people would just apply that to other things as well.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I take ibuprofen and stuff, right? Like.
Yeah.
It cures headaches, you know. Hey,
yeah, I mean,
you know?
I can still admit it's probably bad though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's easy, but it's like there's got to be something wrong with it. You know, it's too good. It's too easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even like a small pill like that's just for headaches and stuff.
What's it called? Acetaminophen or something like that?
Acetaminophen. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I cannot pronounce.
That's what Tylenol is. Is that's like the medical name for it? Is acetaminophen. That's just the name of it. That's not even what's in it.
How do you say that? I'm not gonna lie.
It's hard, but it's the
acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen.
Yeah, I think so. I don't even. Oh shit.
Yeah,
What?
It's 16 letters, I think.
Search it up.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna look at that up. But all right. Anyways, to the next topic.
Yep.
We've talked about medical enough. I'm sick and tired of hospitals. They smell too.
Yeah.
So this is a topic that we were talking about earlier. Programming, mind control.
Okay.
You know, and how like modern day mind control. Like the thing is, the government has been doing mind control like what's called experiments since the 1950s. A good example would be like the project MK Ultra. It's basically where this study was not founded by the United States. It was started in World War II by the Germans and the Japanese, and basically it was facilitated like they would do experiments on these people, and then they would do the research and file. Basically, what they were doing like electroshock. They were doing like what's it called? Like psychological like torture. They were doing like brainwashing, all that type of stuff. And one of the big things that they did was use drug use, like LSD, which is a big psychoactive drug. And what they would do is they would drug up these people with LSD or like like a psychoactive drug, and they would try to make them tell the truth. And so the Germans and the Japanese, they had information on like mind control. What's funny is that during the 50s, the Cold War, USSR and versus the United States, USSR was actually conducting their own, their own mind control, experiments. Good example would be like the sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen those where it's like these guys like they lack sleep for like upon weeks, and literally they went psycho.
Yeah.
But that's the USSR. But with the United States, basically, is that they wanted to be versed in mind control. So they did exactly what USSR did, and Japan and Germany, and they created their own experiments. And they also took the experiments, the files off of Germans and Japanese people. So basically, they conducted an experiment during the 50s through the 70s. It wasn't until 1975 when they got exposed. And guess who was at the top funding this organization or this experiment?
CIA.
Yeah, not more so. It was the Rockefeller Committee.
Okay.
Which is really interesting.
So someone outside the government.
Yeah. So what's funny is that this has a whole thing with like the Watergate. Have you guys heard of the Watergate and Richard Nixon? So basically, when that building was burning, documents on mind control was burned. But what the funny thing is that 20,000 files of this research was improperly put away, and so they found it, and it contained a lot of documents talking about how they did like hypnosis, how I can't remember. They used numerous methods to manipulate its subject's mental state and brain function.
Okay.
So, and a couple of good examples would be like, television.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of things that they did was they created anxiety at a larger scale, and the person would feel anxiety much larger. And so what's funny is that now, like, this all goes back to like this really interests me, because it's like the mind is really powerful, and if we use it correctly, we can like more so elevate as human beings. And how they attack like depression and all this stuff, we can actually get out of those states because it's upon our control.
Yeah.
But the thing is that like so shit, I kind of lost my train of thought.
You good,
I just want to mention one thing while you're thinking is the reason people get so turned off to the whole MK Ultra thing is because when they think of mind control, they think of like the leader in Marvel, like pressing their head, or Charles Xavier pressing your head, and then you can mind control. It's like, it's not that. It's what mind control means in this situation is influencing your thoughts and actions without you even having a say, because it's so ingrained in your subconscious. You know what I mean? Like, you think it's normal and stuff like that. That's mind control in real life. That's not. Mind control exists, just not in the whole, like, I'm going to take over your brain sense.
Yeah, so, like, what I was telling my brother was that if the government can acknowledge that mind control is there, like, you know how I sent you those CIA files about, like, transcendental meditation, hypnosis, and how we can do it on ourselves, and how we're energy, either, like, dim-lidded, like a lamp, or like a laser focus. Yeah. And so it depends on the person, how they use their energy, and like so it's just stuff like that if the government can acknowledge and benefit off of the use, like controlling the masses, if we can do it on ourselves, like to elevate ourselves to literally break out of this chain, I guess, it would be beneficial to us. And that's why I sent you those files.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's just really crazy. You know, all this stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I think everyone talks about how they have anxiety now and depression, and I think it's overblown. But at the same time, anxiety and depression are also up, and I think that's due to the mind control, but in the sense that they overload you with information.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is, what do they do? A common day. What do people do? Well, they scroll through TikTok. They scroll through Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And it's even known that China produces videos for the Western world to watch that, like, literally show you nothing.
Yeah.
But for their country, they show like scientist projects, museum like artifacts. They show educational videos to their youth. And imagine in 10 to 20 years how that's going to turn out. How kids are going to turn out in the Western world versus China.
Yeah.
You get me?
The overload of information is what screws people over.
Yeah.
Because your brain isn't meant to handle that much. It's meant to, like, we're limited in that sense where you see a video and you have to critically think about it. Like, or I guess I didn't mean to say a video, I guess, but like you see something in real life, right? You see something happen and you critically think about it. On TikTok, you can see every single person's life, like 30 people's lives in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like, how would you not get stressed out from like a brain standpoint? It's like,
Seeing all the good things that they've done and then comparing yourself
and
to
it's
them.
like,
Yeah.
it's like you have to think about it. They always say that, you know, the brain is the best computer.
Yeah.
What happens to his computer when you open up 50 Google Chrome tabs?
Yeah.
It explodes.
That's the expression.
Yeah.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And what when you're scrolling, you see people's good part of their life, you know, and all that, and then you compare it, and then it brings you, you know, depressed because you're not at that level, or how did they get there, you know, and you're asking yourself those kinds of questions and everything. It's literally.
Yeah.
And see, kind of going off what you said about the whole computer thing, like, yeah, the brain is a computer and everything, but even the computer has so many gigabytes or whatever it can store, keep on it at any one time before it's not going to take anymore. You got to figure something out. You got to get it external, whatever. But even when it comes to like the whole mind control thing, they do that. Like we talked about media and everything last episode, right? They literally do that mind control stuff every day in the most subtle way that people don't realize. somebody changed the name
Okay,
of the
we're back.
FBI.
We're back. We're back.
CIA.
You guys can sit down. We're good.
All right.
Okay, so I fixed it. What you have to do is you just have to
Holy.
go in here and just read.
There's something every show.
Jeez.
I swear.
Oh, why isn't this one working? I lied.
Sheesh. I ain't gonna lie, my position. That felt good. Stand up for a second. Oh, good lord.
Why are they the same? Hold
Holy.
I'm telling you, man. It's a good thing
We gotta rewind and figure it out.
It's a good thing
Start
we
from the
know
top.
coding and we're perspicacious enough.
We gotta start from the top again, man. Holy.
The FBI can't handle
on.
us.
Listen to the stream real quick. Yeah.
You can't handle the truth!
I want to make sure that each of our mics are back. Because I don't know if I'm talking through your guys' mics. I don't know.
Okay.
That is some insane shit.
Was at least one of our mics on?
No, everything turned off.
Holy.
We were saying some deep ass shit. That's so annoying.
Good.
Holy.
Let me go.
But with
Yeah, make sure like you can hear me clearly,
Yeah.
and it doesn't sound like I'm going through someone else's mic.
We'll be good.
It cut right when it fucking we started talking about the MK Ultra and the cancer.
What the hell is happening, bro?
Wait, when we start talking about Family Guy, yo, to a listener that has no idea what we're talking about, that makes no sense. Yeah, go to the live stream right now. Like, go live and make sure the mics sound good.
Holy.
Now I'm
Before we continue, I don't want to continue, and then like I'm talking through your guys' mic or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
just randomly cut. No, we talking now, bro.
Okay, yeah, we sound good. We sound good. Okay, we're good. We're chilling.
I don't remember everything.
I don't know what we're talking about. We were talking about some deep ass shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, there's like, you're getting too close to the truth.
Yeah, you're getting too
Can't
close.
handle the truth. You gotta go.
Listen.
They do that, like we talked about media and everything last episode, right? They literally do that, MOH Show stuff, every day. And the most subtle way that people don't realize.
There's no way. There's no way.
That's insane timing.
That is a crazy place to stop. Oh my
Wow,
god.
we missed so much of that conversation though, because you said that like an hour ago.
It feels like
What?
holy.
You said that so long ago.
Holy.
Yo, that might be the craziest shit that's happened on the show so far.
Bro.
People, they do mind control every day. Cut us off. What the fuck?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Anyways,
bro.
we can continue. I don't remember where we were going.
Your topic?
No.
I had brought up. I remember. I brought up Fahrenheit 451.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can start there. We can start there.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Well, remember everything else we talked about. I guess. I don't know.
Video games with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That was it.
That is crazy.
Yeah, okay. Anyways.
Even as a kid, I'd seen Mason being tortured and stuff, and it didn't click in my head what it was. I didn't. Honestly, it did not.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Also, you couldn't hear us, but whoever changed their name to FBI and CIA, that's
Actual
fucking
legend.
hilarious.
Actual legend.
I don't know. That's hilarious. Anyways.
Oh shoot. Fahrenheit 451. If you realize, I feel like that's more so that's dang stutter society that we're going towards. With more dumbed down people are going or what it becoming and stuff like that, and how much more they're putting in our face about everything. In which case, you haven't read about Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Have you, Skylar?
Well,
No. Okay. So Fahrenheit 451.
yeah.
The whole premise of the book is that there's firefighters, right? The firefighters are actually causing fires to burn books because they don't want knowledge.
It's illegal to have books in this society.
Yeah, because like having books is gonna make you start thinking different, whatever. It's gonna cause you to start becoming more aware of things or whatever, right? Now throughout the book they're talking about a war, right? Oh, there's a war coming, it's happening, whatever this is and that, right? And throughout the book the main character, he's a firefighter. He ends up keeping a book and then he starts reading it and stuff like that. It gets out that he has this book and he's reading it, even though he's trying to hide it in his house, and now he's being chased by officials, police, everybody, right? All because they don't want you getting outside of the norm. Now, the reason why I say we're going towards this society, right? In this society, there's moving sidewalks and nobody actually steps anywhere. Everybody's doing the exact same thing at the exact same time every day of their life. And it really becomes apparent, or towards the end of the book, where the main character's running down the street. They're on the news. They tell you, okay, at the count of like when I hit one, everybody look outside your doors and see if you can see the guy who's on the run. and they start counting down 10, 9, 8, until they get to 1, and literally everybody opens the door, starts looking for this guy. Until the end of the book. I'm just trying to run through it, and I can probably explain this way better.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
At the end of the book, the so-called war that they're talking about, when the main character gets away from the city, was actually at home. They flew by and dropped a bomb on the whole town, killed everybody, and the only people left alive were the homeless people because they found out about.
And they left.
Yeah, and they left. Because they started reading stuff, so became more knowledgeable.
The thing that's really important about Area 51 that you didn't mention, that it's not as big as a part of the book, but it is as we're heading towards it. They have viewer rooms, right?
Yeah.
They go into these rooms. The entire room is a TV.
Mm-hmm.
These people just sit
Yep.
in this room all day.
Mm-hmm.
All they do is receive news. Well, it's propaganda, and then play games, watch reality TV.
Yep.
That's this entire. The other book that I want to talk about, have you ever read The Giver?
The Giver?
Okay, I've seen the movie.
Yeah, so basically the Giver movie sucks compared to the book.
But
It gets the point across, but you have to read the book because the way she writes it is insane.
Yeah.
Basically, The Giver is about this utopia society. It's really a dystopia that these people are in charge. Basically, the entire premise is that you have to take this pill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they also force the kids to go to school. Certain times they choose your career for you. You have zero freedom, basically. But they're
no emotions.
no emotion. But they're given. They're shown that they are given these freedoms, right? But you don't know any different because you take this pill every day.
Yeah.
You aren't allowed. What this pill does is it cuts off any sexuality.
Yep.
It cuts off. It cuts off any emotion. You feel like the mom, like it's in the perspective of this kid, and the mom and dad always talk about how they don't. The word love doesn't even exist in this like society or whatever.
So they're just like working.
They're basically robots, right?
Yeah.
But the entire premise is like there's this giver dude that's like a therapist, but he tells us, I forget what it does, but he tells this kid to stop taking the pill. Also, the important thing is they only see black and white. It cuts off senses.
Yeah.
So this kid stops taking the pill. He starts feeling attractiveness towards this other girl that goes to his school. He starts like all this stuff. He starts like getting mad at his parents and stuff. And then one day he starts seeing color, and then he runs. And that's where the book ends, I think, is that he runs. Then there's 3 more books in that entire series. The other 3 books are fucking insane. Honestly, one of the best series I've ever read, for sure. I read that shit back in 5th grade, I think.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. See, that's the type of shit, like we were talking, kids are exposed to all this bullshit, right? That's the type of shit I think kids should be exposed to. Is like, here's the way our society's going, by the way, in case you guys aren't seeing it. Like, I read The Giver, that entire thing about being like in this dystopia society where you have no emotions. I read that shit in 5th grade. I didn't realize what I was reading. But now I look back on it, fucking, like, how long ago? 11, 12 years later, I'm like, dog, how? How did she know this was coming? Because, like, I think those 2 books actually combine exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They want to cut off knowledge, but they also are trying to control, like, chemistry, senses, stuff like that. They want us to have no knowledge, but also no ability to even think because we don't have senses.
Yeah, during the medieval times, the peasants didn't have knowledge, or they didn't even know how to read. But the kings, the high up men, they knew how to write, they knew how to read, and so it's literally like a repeat of history.
Yeah.
History tends to repeat itself.
Well, yeah.
Because,
And I mean, knowledge is power. There's no doubt to that. That's why North Korea doesn't have books either, because
Kim Jong-un.
unless it's exactly, unless it's saying
Is that what you said? No, there's a news article that says he created the burrito.
Yeah, they consider Kim Jong-un like an actual god over there. It's actually terrifying. It is terrifying.
Yeah.
See, one thing I don't know why you explained that the whole room thing, kind of going back to Fahrenheit. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
One thing I do remember, and if you realize we kind of have something similar, right? In that book, there's also a robotic dog that will come and chase you down. There is something similar we already have, if you know this or not.
Yeah.
It's like a militarized mechanical dog with a gun with the accuracy that makes no sense at all.
Deadshot.
Well, no, keep in mind the gun that is on the new one. I don't know if you've seen the new one.
I haven't.
It's a 50 cal. 50 cals throw people backwards. This dog shot with 100% accuracy 500 meters.
Golly.
50 cal bullets rip arms off. So imagine that shit gets fucking militarized and like actually used.
Yeah.
It could shoot someone across the city and just quite literally blow their head off. Like explode. It's like, bro, that's terrifying, bro. But what's that dog about? Doesn't it like sniff out books? It's called like the furnace or something. What was it called?
Yeah, I think it is. It's but I think it also kind of like it can like spew fire or whatever. It's something where it can destroy. It has some type of weapon. I can't remember. I think it has to do with the fire though. I think it can set things on fire.
Yeah, it's like in the fire station. Only gets called out at certain times.
Like,
I remember like it's I remember it's like a big event when like the dog goes out or something.
Like, the dude was like running for his like he
Yeah.
knew his stuff.
Yeah, and if you have like a lot of books in your house, they burn down your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This lady had a whole
No,
attic.
I forgot about that one.
Playing, bro. And the first chapter of the book.
Yeah.
How do they find out?
Somebody snitches.
Someone
Some
snitches.
neighbor, because they have everybody thinking the exact same
And
way.
they're all in surveillance and shit. Like
Yeah.
you're always on camera.
Yeah. And see,
What a dystopia.
there's
Yeah,
also
bro.
something like in China though. Here's the scary part. Where in China, I don't remember. I think you told me about it or something. They have these dogs deployed, actually going around. Maybe not you. I don't know. They have them going around, telling people to stay inside their homes and stuff. I don't think they have the gun on them, but they're the drones basically telling them to stay inside your homes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is actually kind of terrifying. The fact you got this thing just walking
But that's
around.
why I have some faith left in humanity, because what's happening in China right now is they're protesting.
Yeah.
Chinese people should have no intellect on what protesting is.
Yeah.
Theoretically, because they've never been exposed to it.
Mhm.
So it's human nature to fight back.
Yeah.
So that's why I have some faith in humanity. Like these books and stuff, like they're good, right? We could be heading that way, but I always carry some faith that even if you aren't exposed to standing up to people that are against you, there's a natural inclination like we need to do something.
Yeah.
It's in human,
like
you know what I mean?
How you said, like, it's a pendulum swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even if you aren't exposed to it at all, there's still something there like, okay, this is how we stand up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Chinese people should have no idea how to protest.
Yeah, no.
Honestly.
And yet they're all out in the street with signs and stuff. It's like, you should have no idea what protesting even is.
At all.
You should have no idea.
You see, I'm not gonna lie. I have so little faith in humanity. I'm not gonna lie. Like every day, it seems like my faith in humanity just goes lower and lower. But you're right. With that, it did. Hopefully, right. Shoot. There's one thing I wanted to say before I just can't remember now. Shoot. I don't think it was about the dogs. I don't know. I'll remember later. Holy. Did you remember what you wanted to say, or did you already say it?
I think I already said it. It talked about the video games and everything. Yeah.
All right, so is our mic still working? Like we didn't get cut off during that bullshit?
I'm like, check like every 5 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Like we just said some crazy ass shit
I
again.
can keep my eyes on it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fine now.
That was so weird. Literally an hour and 8
cut
minutes
off.
in.
Oh,
Hour and 8.
I remember now. So one thing I will say, it's changed. It got better, but now it's heading back down because, like you said, history repeats itself. One thing about like the whole peasants and the whole kings and that queens, everything, that whole situation. Literally, their source of entertainment, they were so desensitized. Their source of entertainment was to watch people get murdered.
Yep.
If there was a crime, everybody was at the stake, ready to watch and excited, and was throwing stuff at them and was cheering.
Okay, I mean, that still happens in today, though.
Yeah, it does. But like, the Colosseum,
Yeah.
for the love of God, is two people trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane to me the way that works.
It was just distractions. They're
Yeah.
distractions. How
Yeah.
it's set up to like literally distract people. How, I mean, think about modern coliseums. What would it be? Stadiums like
I mean, we have a
Football,
modern Coliseum.
basketball,
UFC.
UFC.
To an extent. The difference is like they're getting beat up.
Yeah, they're not like.
But it's different than the Coliseum because seeing death
Yeah.
is way different than just seeing someone get the shit beat out of them.
Yeah. Fair.
Like there's gross stuff on UFC. Like I've seen people get their legs broken in real time and stuff. But like it's way different basically seeing someone's soul leave their body. Like, you can see it happen too. Like, it is terrifying if you watch someone die, right? And that's the stuff that people are desensitized to now, and even kids are getting desensitized to, and you're like, Jesus Christ, what the hell? What route are we going?
And see, there was a I don't know if it's still on YouTube. It's probably not anymore. There was a video of I don't know who it was. I think it was like an Indian. I don't remember. It was some type of a top researcher or reporter, somebody, right? In live time, on video and everything, in front of a press conference or whatever. You literally seen this man's soul leave his body. His body started shaking, eyes started rolling. I was like, what the heck? Like, it literally looked like you could see it leaving. And that's honestly kind of terrifying.
Yep.
And then, last thing to say about the whole Coliseum thing, right?
Yeah.
Y'all seen the movie Gladiator?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Gladiator movie really depicted the best way possible what they were. There weren't mega champions of the top fighters just coming to fight. No, they were literally slaves fighting for their freedom.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of sad, but also Gladiator is a great movie. I refuse to believe otherwise.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo.
Your turn.
Okay. Now this one's more of an open discussion.
Also more lighthearted for the viewers.
Oh yeah, way more lighthearted. All right.
Well, I mean, depending, because if you have like a fear of an eternity, sure. But anyways.
Fear. I don't think you weren't here when I mentioned it. So, my topic is more so about black holes, which is why it's a more open topic.
Oh, I love slaves.
I probably could. What?
What?
You said about slaves?
I said space.
Oh,
I said space.
I thought you said slaves. I was about to say, wait a minute, bro. What? We can't have a Kanye part 2.
You're talking about black holes. Black holes.
Yeah, think about.
That's
Never mind.
Wait a minute. How does your mind?
Okay. Yeah, it sounded like he said slaves.
I'm gonna keep it all. I'm gonna keep it a hard stack. I was literally gonna let it slide because I thought he accidentally said slaves. I was like, we gotta let that one slide. We gotta. Okay, no, it makes sense though because he has braces now, so sometimes like it slurs. It slurs.
Sorry. All right.
And he's got a shot of apple cider too, so you know it makes sense.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! I love slaves. That was almost the craziest shit, bro.
We almost lost this whole podcast, bro.
We almost lost the show.
Twice.
I swear we fight every day to keep this show standing, bro. Alright. What was I saying? Black holes. More open discussion, right? I didn't necessarily see a set thing that I maybe wanted to talk about, so I decided, okay, we'll just share our opinions on what we think a black hole is and stuff like that, right? But to start this off and everything, I don't know if y'all know, we might have talked about it before. There was a black hole that swallowed a star back in 2018. I found the date.
Okay, nice.
Thank God. Now, when it swallowed this star, it does, when black holes swallow stars, it does something. It's kind of like, it makes it like spaghetti almost, which makes it interesting. It's called stellar tide disruption. And what it does is that, what it did to the star is it stretched it out and condensed it like a noodle. Like
how do we know this?
They were watching it as it did it.
Okay.
I can't remember the names. Like it might have been NASA, like astrologists or whatever. They were watching this star right when it happened. It's one of the closest stars to us, I think, or the black holes. In which case, that's the only way we can really watch it or find out about it. So it's weird that it came in like it stuck in like a pool noodle, considering a pool noodle, you know what I mean. Considering how strong the black hole, like a suction of a black hole really is. It legitimately could have just pulled the whole thing in at once if we wanted to. But it changed the shape of the star, which is interesting. The stars are mainly gas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I think it was early this year, it started spewing out like remains or whatever, remnants of that same star. So it's the way I'm seeing it is that it's acting, a black hole is kind of like acting like a digestive system here, right? Like it changes the way it intakes the food in a sense, but then once it's consumed, everything takes whatever. Maybe it might take what it needs. It starts spewing it back out like a body.
So the question is, what do you think is on the other side of a black hole?
See, I don't know. Because if it acts like that, right? And by the way, the only reason why they know is that same star is because they've been watching it ever since, and it's never consumed anything else but that. So it's kind of weird. But I don't know, because if it's acting like because with us we can only eat like a certain size thing. We can't just unhinge our jaws like an anaconda or something and just consume whatever we want. Instead of doing that, like a person, we find it to something that is able to pull in. At least that's what it seems like it did. I mean, granted, it could have just, like, with the suction of it being so close and passing by, it could have just started slowly pulling it in, right? But it still makes no sense to me. Then it starts spewing out, not in the same way it came in or anything, kind of like powder, pretty much. Like, if you just throw powder, it started coming out like that.
Oh, like you did last show.
I hate you. I hate you so much. I'll never try scooping again. The worst thing.
Okay. Don't play footsies with me. Yo.
Can we stay in the top?
Sorry. Okay, so the thing with the black holes is like it's the definition of like the true realization that like we know nothing. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
So just based on theories that I know of space, right? I'm assuming either the black hole sucked in and it turned it into the noodle because the gravity was so strong in the black hole.
Yeah.
I don't even know if black holes have gravity. I have no fucking idea. Actually, it has to. It has to because that's how it pulls things in.
Yeah.
Or is that like the space-time fabric where like the black hole itself rips apart space-time fabric and like can just tear things apart basically, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what is the black hole doing it because of gravity, or is the black hole like literally something that we can't even fathom yet that can change space and time?
So
like
I think it doesn't confine to time, if anything.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
because like it's like, okay, for example, eternity, the sense of eternity, right? Something can take. I'm gonna use a religious example, right? There's the word. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Do your own research.
Time.
Yeah. It was told, okay, Jesus will come in 5 days. 5,000 years later, here comes Jesus. Yeah. So my thing is like, okay, kind of like with heaven, how time is completely different. Do black holes not confined to time or the concept of it to that black hole? Give you like a second, like, okay, don't want it, throw it out. If it even does that type of stuff.
Yeah. That's where it gets so weird because it's like, okay, so the space-time fabric theory or whatever, right, is that space is like a cloth that's hanging, and the heavier things are, the faster it goes, right? So like on Earth, time is literally different than it is on Jupiter. Yeah. But to me, that makes no sense because it's like, Jesus Christ, how could time literally be faster at like an actual level?
The gravitational pull.
Yeah, but like
didn't Interstellar showed like a good like where for every hour, 7 years passes or something.
Yeah, but then in my head, that it's a completely weird thing because it's like, isn't time a social construct in itself to an extent?
Yeah.
So how could you even say time is different when we literally created it on Earth?
Yeah.
And it only applies to Earth. You know what I mean? Like, how could you possibly say the entirety of space follows this exact time? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Jupiter's gravity heavier.
Way heavier than us. Like, I think we'd actually get pushed into a particle if we went on Jupiter.
In that case, using the whole space-time theory or whatever, like fabric or whatever, right? I can see.
That's just a theory, by the way. So like, we don't even know.
Yeah, I can see how the time is different because like the whole point of gravity, like it starts weighing on our bodies after a while.
Yeah.
If the gravity's way heavier, then I can see how it might make your body react if our age different.
I'm thinking of the gravitational pull because as you get older, the more gravity starts to take a hold of your droopiness and you start getting more droopy and everything. So I would feel like time is more controlled because of gravity. You get
the space-time theory, though, I think doesn't have anything to do with gravity. Space-time is purely based on the weight of things and the mass of things. Like, the space-time theory, I think, even goes as deep as you weigh more than me, so time is faster to you.
Yeah.
Like, at such a minimal level. But it's like, how the fuck does that work? How does that work? Because that's how deep the space-time theory goes, and that's what I'm saying. Black holes are, I think, the heaviest thing that we know of, right? And that's why gravity's completely different. That's why gravity's so strong a black hole is big because gravity is strong.
Yeah.
But it's like, how but then like does the black hole turn that star to the black hole? Does that star turning and spitting it out feel like a nanosecond?
I would assume.
But then how can we even observe it?
And see, here's the thing, right? So black holes, they're so dark and whatever. They show absolutely no light coming out of it, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, shouldn't it dim or take away the light anytime a light enters it? Because if that's the case, how did it spew the star back out when, I mean, like, because you can still see that. The star still was still light, still had light and stuff, so they had to see it come out.
Well, I heard that it's like stars. If you look in a telescope,
Yeah.
it's just like the light that travels to Earth is just a past.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Past.
Well, yeah, because light moves different. So like the sunlight we see
Mm-hmm.
is like 7 minutes ago when the sun actually dispersed of that light.
Yeah.
Same thing with like the star we're watching that like is about to collide or whatever. I think you showed me that video. There's 2 stars about to collide, I think. And that like so far out, like we can observe it, but like it won't even affect us in any regard.
Yeah.
Scientists expect it to collide in the next 500 years, but that goes into that star already collided.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then if space is empty and weighs nothing, can we even see anything in it? And why is time even existing? Why does that?
It makes actually.
That's what I'm saying. We know
sense.
nothing. Also, I think black holes. Here's my theory for that.
Yeah.
It disperses a light that we can't see. We can't observe. So to us, it's completely black. It kills all light.
Yeah.
But that's just because like we see the light spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, we only see infrared. I think no, we don't see infrared.
Oh,
we see the color spectrum, but we can't see infrared, UV.
Yeah.
I think black holes have a light that we haven't even discovered yet.
Yeah.
Because I think
have to be.
I think black holes are like the case where we can look at a black hole, but like we can't even fathom what it is yet.
Yeah.
It is so far out of our realm
Yeah.
where we can't even, because everything in life we compare it to things we already know.
Yeah.
We have nothing to compare a black hole to, or have no idea even where to start.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem with black holes is like maybe it is a portal.
See,
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know.
because it could legitimately be a whole nother universe inside of a black hole. We would never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's weird to me. Shoot, my theory now. We went into a black hole a while ago, which is why everything started going so far downhill. And
Fair
we're
enough.
in an alternate reality.
Yeah.
This
Hey,
place.
the world ended in 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Actually.
True. Yeah, no, black holes are very
That was a ghost.
are very weird to me.
God, I didn't even notice he was there.
Yeah, a ghost actually goes there. No, I think black holes are a very weird scenario
Yeah.
where it's like we saw it too early.
Probably.
We saw it too early because like we can't even think about it.
At this point, bro, Elon, you need to figure out what you can make that a black hole won't destroy.
Yeah.
So we can figure out what that
Yeah,
is.
fucking Neuralink. Stop trying to
Tesla.
blow us up
Right.
via our brain.
Yeah.
Start doing black holes.
Yeah.
Start
And
black holes.
actually, no.
Tyrone.
No, not me.
Yeah.
Not me. Bro. Holy. Honestly, I was about to say go back to the ocean as well, but I don't think I want to know what's in the ocean.
Well, yeah,
That's
fuck
a-
black
that's a-
holes. I
that's
want
a
to see the
different
ocean
topic.
first.
Okay.
Another
Here's my thing about oceans.
Okay. Go.
Okay, never mind. I really tried to think of a joke there and I couldn't.
No.
No, my point about oceans, right? They go down deeper, and there's something there, like huge or something, you know, that could eat every human on the earth alive at once or something, right?
Huh.
It won't ever bother us. It never has. It never will, because all we stay is on the shore anyway. So it's like even if we know what's down there, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. Besides people just like being overly scared, because it's like it will never affect you. Kind of the same thing if you're afraid of like black holes.
Yeah.
It will never affect you. Who cares? Like, why do you have to be afraid of it? You know what I mean?
Hey, I don't know though. Black holes can open literally anywhere.
Unless
It's open in this room. No.
Yeah, I mean-
Unless if CERN, just accidentally opens a little black hole,
yeah.
I
mean, unless there's Atlantis down there or something, and like they told us to not. They told us to go away when NASA found them
Yeah.
because they were like, if you come back here again, your entire society is getting blown up, basically. You know what I mean?
That would be crazy.
You know, there's like,
Aquaman
speaking
stuff,
of
man.
like particles, like there's a one in like some crazy number that your fist would just go through this entire table. Like, because the particles are like, you could technically just fly through the table. Like your fist could just go through because all your particles in your hand like surround the ones at the table. Find that number.
I'm gonna
I
have
need
to
to find that
start
number.
banging on this table until I just somehow.
Yeah, you'll have to. Yeah, I mean, you'll have to do it for like 50 lifetimes, but
Oh, that's okay. I'll get there.
hold
eventually.
on. It's gonna take a second. I think this computer. Yeah, there's a
since it's
required
got-
restart. I was so afraid when I loaded up this computer. It said required restart. I was like, please don't restart on us again. Okay. Hello.
This computer's.
Yeah, this computer's going to explode. What is this? I don't even know what to look up with it.
You said
what is the chances my fist goes through the table?
I guess it's been searched up.
Oh, 100%. Well, no, it's hearing us. What are the odds? What are the odds? Holy shit. Quantum tunneling. There's a 1 in 5.2 to the 61st power chance that you slap a table, your hand will go through it.
How the fuck's that kid?
I have no idea.
I didn't see that.
How did you guys see that? That was the first thing I said.
I was reading.
Bro.
Oh, who is this kid? It's on Reddit. I'm not clicking on a Reddit link. Hell no.
No.
I'll just pull it up and see some
somewhere
porn or
else.
something.
Man. Shoot. Hey. But if we can figure out how to do it consistently, superpowers.
Well,
Superpowers.
next show, I feel like we should all research a little bit about. I don't even know if we want to go that deep. Never mind. I was saying like the quantum like level.
Oh.
Because I learned about it a little bit in physics. Quantum level's insane.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this is going way off topic, but you saying that just reminded me. Marvel.
Oh, bro, I knew you were going to talk about the
They
Quantum Mania.
released the trailer for both Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, what was it? I can't remember the name of this new one coming out. But then they also released the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Have you seen it?
Nope.
Bro, freaking watch it.
Okay. Well, I've seen Quantum Mania. I haven't
That's
seen
the Quantum. That's what it's called.
Quantum Mania. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania is what the movie's called.
Bro, watching that trailer. Did you see it?
No.
Holy, did any of y'all watch
I didn't even see
You
Guardians.
seen-
I didn't even know they released
you
Guardians.
seen Loki? Bro?
Yeah.
Bro, do you realize who was in that trailer? I'm not gonna say who, but do you realize who was in that trailer from that movie, from that show?
Like Kang?
Yeah, well, was it King? Was that his name?
Yeah, Kang the Conqueror. That's who was at the end of Loki.
The dude who's like the watch of the
Yeah, that's
Okay,
at the end of
yeah.
Loki. It was Kang.
yeah.
That's how we know
So-
Kangs exist. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp, Kang's the enemy.
Yeah, and that blew my mind. I said, I seen it.
Well,
like,
no, Kang's going to
what?
be in every movie.
Yeah.
That's like, it's all leading up to the Kang Dynasty. They're doing it different than they did Thanos, where Thanos is like kind of this like,
I forgot King Dynasty was a thing coming out.
you know, like Thanos is like he comes in after, like you don't know he's coming. But Kang is going to be in like every single movie leading up to Kang Dynasty.
You see, now the show Loki makes sense as well now. A little
Still
bit.
doesn't make
It-
sense.
it's
Still
a
doesn't make
small
sense
lot.
because the laws they set up in Loki
Yeah.
don't make sense.
I'm
But
talking about him introducing him.
oh well, yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah,
It was just nothing but a setup, pretty much to introduce him.
yeah.
And it's interesting because what, y'all, are you gonna watch Loki?
The movie?
The show, it's a show.
Oh.
Are you gonna watch Loki or no? So you okay? So I can say this thing. At the end of the show, he was talking about how he was terrified because if they if they decide to break the what was it? What's the name of it? How time only flows in this one direction, and if you mess up,
Oh, time variance
yeah,
or whatever.
He was terrified of the time variance of him. Because in almost every one, he was like controlling, he was like destroyer or something or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting to me now, because that's my.
Too bad you'll never hear about that again because they have now went away from that happening.
Really?
Like like WandaVision, Loki, all the movies and shows have different rules.
Yeah.
So now they're not even talking about this one where all of them get destroyed and stuff. So anyways, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Complete and utter horseshit. But that's a whole other fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, it also confirms that what was that? What was that place called? The one who kept control of the time variance and everything. The something TV. I can't
Oh, the TVA. Yeah, you're right.
The TVA. Yeah. That also, I feel like also kind of just proves that the TVA is in the quantum realm, even though we already had.
Yeah, I don't even know if they'll even talk about it. I don't know.
Probably.
The shows suck. The shows actually kind of stink.
Yeah, the show on its own was good,
But like
I love
in the system that they
it
create,
makes
is
no
bad.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have stuck with movies.
All right, y'all got anything y'all want to say?
I'm good.
I just want to apologize for those 8 minutes, I guess.
Yeah,
But because we were talking deep for those 8 minutes, God damn it!
I didn't hear a single thing of it.
Hey, they're doing it on purpose, motherfuckers.
They don't want y'all to
They
hear.
coming for
So,
us.
yeah.
Fuck you, FBI.
if I get up here, hey,
Fuck 12. Fuck the FBI.
I'm gonna say this now. I don't agree.
Hey, no, fuck 12. I was just saying that. That's funny, but no.
Well, I guess that's it, boys. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in for another episode of Mo. We'll see you guys back here same time next week, Friday, 7 p.m. Hopefully we don't have any issues.
There will be something every show at this goddamn time.
I swear. And we'll keep you updated if Kanye says any more stupid stuff. But see you guys later. Y'all have a great weekend.